headlines shaking headlines across Asia, and now the world. On a quiet afternoon in late November, Hong Kong became the scene of one of the most devastating high-rise fires in modern memory. Flames erupted in a single apartment block, and within minutes they had spread like lightning across 8 residential towers in a densely populated housing complex known as Wang Fuk Court. By nightfall, smoke blanketed the skyline. Helicopters hovered overhead, and thousands of residents scrambled to evacuate. The numbers are staggering. 44 lives confirmed lost, at least 279 still unaccounted for. This wasn't just a building fire. It was a full-blown urban disaster, unfolding in real time in one of the world's most advanced cities. But how did it happen? Why did the fire spread so quickly and to so many towers? And most importantly, could something like this happen in your city? In this episode, we break down what led to the catastrophe, who might be responsible, and what it reveals about the hidden dangers inside the cities we call home. This is not just a story about Hong Kong, it's a global warning. Part 1, The Incident.
सिसीले नि काम गरेको थियो यहाँ सबै खतम भयो
It started just before 3 in the afternoon, on a seemingly normal Tuesday. At exactly 2:51 p.m. local time, thick smoke began pouring from the lower floors of Wang Chung House, a 30-story apartment tower located in the Tai Po district of Hong Kong. Within minutes, the flames were visible from several blocks away. But what no one expected, what no one was prepared for, was what happened next. The fire didn't stay confined to a single building. Strong winds and a deadly combination of construction materials helped it jump, not just to the next tower, but eventually to all 8 buildings in the Wang Fuk Court complex. We're talking about 8 concrete high-rises, home to nearly 5,000 people. It was chaos. Residents ran for their lives, stairwells quickly filled with smoke, elevators shut down, and as smoke climbed from floor to floor, so did the panic. Firefighters were dispatched from across the city. By 4 p.m., over 760 firefighters were battling the blaze. More than 120 fire engines and nearly 60 ambulances lined the streets below. Still, the fire spread faster than they could contain it. By sundown, all 8 towers were engulfed in flames, with plumes of black smoke darkening the sky. This was no ordinary fire. This was a full-scale urban emergency, and the toll it would take, in lives, in trauma, and in unanswered questions, had only just begun. Part 2. Why the fire spread so fast.
已經紅晒，所有棟已經全部燒到紅晒。
As flames shot up in the sky, onlookers and residents of the Wang Fuk housing complex in disbelief. I don't even know how I feel right now, says Harry Chung. I don't know where I'm going to sleep. The deadly inferno broke out mid-afternoon.
At first, many thought it was just bad luck. A spark in the wrong place at the wrong time. But the deeper investigators looked, the clearer it became. This fire didn't spread fast by accident. It spread because the buildings themselves helped fuel it. All 8 towers were undergoing exterior renovations at the same time. That meant scaffolding, not steel or aluminum, but bamboo scaffolding, wrapped tightly in layers of green nylon mesh. This ancient method, still used across parts of Asia, is lightweight and cheap, but it's also incredibly flammable. Fire experts say the combination of bamboo scaffolding, fire hazard, and synthetic netting acted like a wick, channeling flames up the sides of the buildings like a blowtorch. One witness described it as watching fire climb the towers like it was being pulled upward. Video footage confirms that in less than 6 minutes, the fire had climbed from the 5th floor to the 18th. And then it jumped, leaping from building to building as flaming debris fell from the scaffolding. But it didn't end there. The exterior of the towers had been insulated with foam-based cladding, a material known for trapping heat, and unfortunately, for igniting easily under pressure. When combined, these two materials created a lethal chain reaction. Bamboo feeding the flames upward, cladding spreading it sideways. Within an hour, the entire complex was in crisis. Not because of arson, not because of a gas leak, but because of the very materials chosen to protect and improve the buildings. A decision meant to renovate ended up accelerating destruction. Part 3, the human toll. While the firestorm engulfed the towers, the human cost was unfolding floor by floor. Inside the buildings, hallways filled with black smoke in minutes. Many residents were elderly. Others had limited mobility or small children. Stairwells became choke points, and the elevators had already failed. People banged on doors, shouted for neighbors, and ran blindly through the smoke. Some climbed out onto balconies, waving towels and flashlights, hoping someone would see them. Others made desperate phone calls to loved ones, to emergency services, unsure if they would ever make it out. Emergency responders tried everything. Helicopters hovered above the rooftops. Firefighters climbed external ladders to reach as many as they could. Some residents were lowered down with ropes from upper floors. Still, for many, it was too late. Bodies were later found, huddled near stairwells, doors, and even windows. People who had tried to escape but were overtaken by heat and smoke. One survivor, a woman in her 60s, told reporters, "I couldn't breathe. I felt the walls burning. We thought we had time. We didn't." As of now, 44 people are confirmed dead. At least 279 remain missing. Their fates unknown. Hundreds more have been displaced, losing everything in minutes. Makeshift shelters have been opened around the city. Counselors, aid workers, and volunteers are on the ground. But the emotional scars will last far longer than the smoke. Part 4, who's responsible? As the smoke began to clear, another question rose with it. Who's responsible? And the answers so far are deeply troubling. Just days after the fire, Hong Kong police arrested 3 individuals connected to the construction project. 2 of them were senior executives at the renovation firm overseeing the scaffolding. The third was a safety consultant, hired to evaluate fire risks during the renovation. They're now under investigation for gross negligence manslaughter. Why? Because this wasn't the first warning. According to internal documents leaked to the press, the use of bamboo scaffolding on high-rise buildings had already been flagged as a fire hazard earlier this year. A government memo from March recommended a transition to non-combustible metal scaffolding, especially for residential towers with active occupants. But that memo was non-binding. It was a suggestion, not a mandate. And so the cheaper, riskier option stayed in place. Fire officials also confirmed that the green nylon netting used to wrap the bamboo was not fire retardant. In a city known for its engineering prowess and global infrastructure, corners were cut. Worse, they were cut around people's homes. Critics are now asking, how could this happen in 2025? How did a renovation meant to improve safety end up putting thousands of lives at risk? The blame, it seems, will not fall on a single person, but on a system that valued speed and cost over safety. And in tragedies like this, accountability comes too late.